When drag queens gotta make a gay infomercial about heaven, we know there is no heaven for them.
Wow, so many layers to peel between that. Hi, I'm homophobic.
Who made that joke?
Poppy.
Thank God she's gone.
How dare you?
She's cute, but...
Join us for the disappearance of Princess Poppy in FunUntitled, the podcast where we serve every episode with FU. I've been doing a lot of pause because of Princess Poppy.
Because it's perfect.
So, I'm Annie. I was Princess Poppy's #1 supporter until this episode.
I'm Minty. Every time I think of princess, I always think of the people's princess.
Ah, yes, that. Oh! So we're going over RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15, Episode 2.
That was so insensitive.
Oh, ever since the second episode they made that Will Smith reference, I'm like, I want to be edgy too.
That wasn't very controversial, though.
Was it not?
No. People just made a big deal out of it, but it was really not.
We made fun of the Titanic, so I want to make fun of a woman who's been dead for at least 20 years.
Yeah, might be closer to 30.
Yeah, because I know she didn't die during Y2K, unless...
20 would be enough to not be part of Y2K. I mean, basically. Anyway, moving on. 15, which is a ridiculous number, is here to be split into 3 groups so they can do a gay infomercial about heaven. Now, unless I didn't understand the prompt because each team did a different task. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Whatever the goal was not what I just said. But let's go into it because I guess now that the show has been cut from an hour and a half to an hour, we don't do mini challenges unless it's a premiere episode.
By the way, y'all, when you don't know that the episode's been cut, it's really noticeable how fast they're going. You're just like, what's happening? Is it because there's 15 queens and we're going through all of them?
And yet they still want to do the whole workroom talk shop.
I watch videos at 2 times the speed, and RuPaul's Drag Race was a little too fast for me.
Alright, so let's go into each act, some of the memorable looks, and the elimination that we already spoiled. So we'll go with Team Anitra's one, which is obviously the best one.
So, like, that's the whole premise is that Sasha Colby, she's God, and she's, like, showing drag queens what heaven is like when they die, and it turns out that drag queens do die in Palm Springs.
That was really funny. See, this is what I thought they were supposed to kind of do.
Like, it literally explain what heaven is, right?
Yeah, specifically to drag queens. I don't know if I like the neck-breaking thing. It was kind of funny, especially the look over there and then...
I think... Is it that she's killing herself to get to the next realm of heaven?
Maybe. It kind of had a good place vibe.
Well, you would know.
Yeah.
Was anyone else in that thing that was... I wish Anetra was like, wasn't just standing there, but more like she could do flips in heaven.
Anitra. We have to call her Anitra. I said that wrong in the first episode. Her name is Anitra.
Okay.
Which is weird because I feel like it's anti-Asian to be like Anitra.
It's like Anitra is like, oh, wow, you get applause for just standing there. Wouldn't heaven be like, you can do a backflip and you haven't worked out a day in your life? Like, you're the stunt queen. Do something.
I guess it depends on how you define, Like, I think the joke may work better if you were like a fat queen that could do a backflip then.
Oh, gotcha.
Which, let's be fair, I don't think a fat queen can do a backflip. Although I also didn't think they could do splits, so who knows. Moving into the second group, which I called, like, they thought heaven was like a spa.
A dirty spa.
A lot of puns. Like, it was okay.
Princess Poppy. I wrote all the jokes. Oh no, Michelle Versailles isn't laughing at any of them. Ooh. And I'm like, Princess Poppy, they're all dirty jokes. And then she spread her pussy out during the lip sync. I'm like, oh, okay, you're nasty.
I just thought so many of them in the workroom talked about icons. And the only one we saw was Dolly Parton. Like, really? I mean, it was cute, but shouldn't we have more of that kind of stuff? To be fair, I kind of like what Sugar was kind of saying. Oh yeah, by the way, they split up Sugar and Spice, and we don't talk enough about how Amethyst did dirty to them.
Well, she did get a facial during that commercial. We have to forgive her. Also, I don't know why. I only realized this episode that Amethyst has a very unique nose.
Again, Annie did not watch the Meet the Queens.
What? She dressed up like a giant nose and she said, what? Follow your nose? Toucan Sam.
No, but she made like nose jokes and said like this is like her landmark.
No offense, when Michelle Versailles was like, I love your nose. It's a beautiful nose. I'm like, that's her character. Like, she's not getting out this episode. She has to learn to love her nose.
It was weird because I think the way she contoured also made it look like the nose was broken.
Yeah, it was weird.
Like, once they started talking about the nose, I was like, that nose is like telling me it's 5 o'clock.
Maybe it just looks like that though.
I think you can contour it to be straight.
A drag queen being straight? I don't think so. Why do you think they have such a hard time with eyeliner?
It's so goddamn stupid. And then the last one, which really like took it off the mark, was to have it was a heaven for drag fans, but a hell for drag queens.
I wish with all my entire heart we were being judged by groups, because I have no idea how the judges like held all the hatred in and not just slam this group.
Yeah, literally only one person was on the bottom.
I don't understand why they took out all the judges, like, deliberating who to send home, because they guarantee said, wow, that last group was really piss poor, wasn't it?
But let's only choose Jax. I don't really like Jax, not because of personality, but it is because she doesn't pad. And usually I don't really care if you don't pad, but for some reason the way Jax does it, she always looks like a middle schooler to me.
Yeah, I can see that. A lot of queens here don't pad. Some of them makes it work. Some of them wears that stupid dress I hate where like they leave room for boobs, but they don't put boobs in it, so it's just flopping. And I'm like, that's not a good look. Like, oh, but what gender? Like, what define gender? Get a better forming chest plate, damn it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of queens I'm excited to see go. Not necessarily Princess Poppy, but anyways, so then the runway was Metallica. What look stood out to you?
Zoto from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure had a really nice Metallica look.
The Venn diagram of RuPaul fans and JoJo fans. There is no overlap, except maybe like Louis Vuitton.
Gucci. Oh, that Megan Trainor song, I don't gotta wear Gucci to make you look. It's a very popular TikTok sound right now. I'll show it to you later.
Okay.
But I kind of like the Metallica. I would say it's one of my favorite themes if all the queens didn't kind of fuck it up. Because it got boring at one point. It's just like, we're just wearing a dress that's super shiny.
What else would they do with Metallica?
I like how Marsha was kind of a robot.
That was cute, actually. I like that, but it didn't seem like anyone else
campy,
did.
huh?
But campy, you see, what it is like it's in the middle of being cute and campy. Because if she was campy, then she'd be all silver.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is, I guess, apparently what they might have been saying, seeing how the Untucked went. But again, we didn't get to see any deliberations.
I would like to do a shout out to Spice, who was clearly Hatsune Miku.
Is that weird? I mean, I guess she is technically a computer program.
I just hated how the outfit looked really plain, but the hair was really weird.
That is kind of like her signature. I think Sugar and Spice are known for doing their own hairs. Not necessarily for it being good, but you know.
Yeah. Other than that, I really like Lucy's, her little pink suit. And there was two queens, I forget their names, where they came out in gold dresses, and I'm like, they look the same.
Oh yeah, Lux and Amethyst. Although I like the way Amethyst did it because I like the little sun crown. That's why I'm putting it in a thumbnail. Unless Annie changes on me last minute. Look at me. Are you gonna change it? Because I don't get a say in this. You know, you don't take notes or remember anyone's name. Actually, I'm surprised you remember more of season 15 queens' names.
They're all kind of more unique to me for whatever reason. And I'll never forget S titties.
Oh god. I don't know, I feel like there's a group of white people though. Lucy, Poppy, Marsha. It's like they all kind of look the same. And I just need this blob to kind of go. I love Sugar and Spice still.
The bottom three were
Amethyst, Poppy, and Jax. Jax should have been on the bottom too, right?
It's hard because I feel like we wanted to shit on Jax more because they did the narrative of I had to step up as leader, and we hated her for it because she shat on your girl Sugar.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, I guess her performance wasn't that bad.
She didn't have any lines.
I'm trying to think about Poppy and Amethyst and why they were on the bottom, like out of everyone in that group.
So Amethyst had the gagging and the facial.
Okay, gotcha.
And Poppy...
If Poppy was put at the stake for writing those jokes, then the entire last leftover group should have been put up too.
I mean, yeah, it really should have been Poppy versus Jax. They were the two quote-unquote writers of the group.
Yeah, why we got shit on Amethyst 2 weeks in a row?
I'm telling you, man, they want her gone. But she's a damn good lip sync. I mean, I would say she's like B. She's like a B tier.
Here's the thing. Poppy and Amethyst, they lip sync to Ain't No Mountain High Enough. We'll go back to the winners later. And at first I thought Poppy had it, and she was like, oh, I'm showing Diana Ross. But then later on, I brought out Poppy Pussin'. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Is that what she said?
That's what she said. She had something like that. Like, my Poppy Pussin' be poppin'. And then she started doing all those vagina moves, like spreading her legs and like hip thrusts in the air. And I'm like, no, honey, that doesn't match the song. You're going home. RuPaul had to like just cringe because she had to keep Amethyst for another week because no way she could have lost to your pussy.
See, the thing is, Amethyst had the right idea. There are just some idols you don't fuck with in front of RuPaul. Diana Ross being one of them. I think Cher is another one, but I think technically you can also, kind of like make fun of her mannerisms in a sense because they're so iconic.
Snap out of it.
I mean, it's the one reference if we have to know any reference. So, yeah, honestly, Poppy just went home because she should have just channeled the Diana Ross throughout. I mean, they're two white people. They could have both done it pretty poorly.
Meanwhile, Sasha, Lux, and Lucy got onto the top 3. And I'm like, I don't really care who wins, man.
I mean, honestly, yeah, I couldn't remember anyone.
I don't know if because the performance was rushed. It's just like, you guys did okay. You didn't bomb.
So Sasha winning, was okay.
That's okay. I don't give a shit. I kind of want Lucy to win just because I like Lucy now.
I like that she'll never pad.
No, she's the one queen in this competition who never has to pad. So next week, what do you think about it being Snatch Game?
I think I have the same fears as everyone else, where it's like 14 queens to a quicker pace is gonna be a problem. Because even like, man, the runways were like, they were here and there for a second, and it's just like, it's kind of one of the more important things about watching the show, you know?
They almost had as much time as Cherry Pie's runway.
Wow. Holy shit.
I still think it's weird that they show off Sherry Pie's looks because, like, oh, we don't want to, like, disrespect her designer.
Was that the reasoning?
Yeah, because, like, people made a stink because, like, the designer worked really hard and that wasn't Sherry's work, that was, like, the designer. And, like, he's like, oh, well, I was hoping this would be my big break, but now it's all ruined. And I'm like, shut up.
Who looks at a design someone's done and then, like, oh, I gotta go find, the dress on the queen and say, I gotta go look at the designer now?
Oh, why do you think, like, all the Instagram posts, they, like, tag every designer for every look?
I don't know, discount the next dress if you tag me in this one.
I think it's like, if you are specifically looking for a designer and you are, like, a drag queen, you would want to know, but we wouldn't care.
If I want to go copy someone's look, I'm gonna go get it from the designer. Which I guess is the ethical way of doing it.
If you think about it, 14 queens, 45 minutes. Like, you gotta, like, divide that up and do some mental math gymnastics to be like, each queen has to be funny for, like, 3 minutes.
You each get one response. Make it funny.
It's a highlight clip show at this rate.
I want, like, Snatch Game tournament. Where, like, they have to ask a question. Whoever has the better answer gets to go forward.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Right! But you would need 16 queens to do that. So they should have done that in the first episode.
Well, until then, we're signing off. Bye. Now we're the true friends of WeHo. The reason why RuPaul's Drag Race was shortened to 45 minutes.
I hope that show fails.
I'm the Canadian judge. Yeehaw.